It is time for Kenya to have our own. Thank you very much. And before I call Professor Chega to come forward, Mike, where are you? Yeah. You are here? Okay, come. So Mike, let me also introduce others. I wonder whether I did introduce them. The team, can you stand up again? You are scattered all over. Just stand up and come over. My team, please, don't be shy. They are here. I don't know why they're sitting down. They're all here. Come, please. So that people see you. And Mike will speak on behalf of the team. Mike, can you introduce yourself? Yeah, just introduction.
Professor Michael Chege, part of this team, currently part-timer, University of Nairobi, where I've taught most of my life. I've taught outside the country. Was an advisor, Treasury, Vision 2030 from 2003 to 2013. And I'm very pleased to be here, Your Excellency, as you know, in this task.
Karute Kanyinga, professor at the University of Nairobi Institute for Development Studies, where I specialize in governance and development. Thank you.
George Okongo, an economist who's worked with Professor Nyong'o for many years on most of these things.
I'm Dennis Onyango. I work for a lot of people in the country, but right now I work for Professor Nyong'o on this project. Thank you.
My name is Peter Wanyande. I've taught at the University of Nairobi in the Department of Political Science and Public Administration for over 30 years. Done a lot of work on development. Currently, with Professor Nyong'o in this team, I also work for an organization called the Shalom Center for Conflict Resolution here in Nairobi. Thank you.
My name is Eddie Ila. I work in the office of the governor.
Okay, Mike, go ahead.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, Deputy President, Cabinet, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to bore you with repeating what's already been said and what you already know, except to say that it's a great honor for me to have been associated with my colleague of many years, Professor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, in the preparation of the document which was requested by His Excellency the President to provide us with a roadmap towards developing a development plan on a long-term basis that will guide our country after the expiration of the initiative that we undertook, kind of Kenya Vision 2030. I have been tasked this morning, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, simply to look at the global context that we considered ourselves to be in where we start as we move forward. It is not anything new to any of you to remark that the global framework of multilateralism, the architecture by which states play with one another that was established after 1946 and Second World War, is breaking down. And it is breaking down in a way that we observe from day to day. I was talking to the PS, Foreign Affairs, who was sitting next to me, that yesterday Britain got the seventh Prime Minister in 10 years. They've never seen an instability of that kind before. And they don't know how to get rid of it because the parties that were important after the war are also breaking apart. In our particular case, the UN, even the Bretton Woods institutions, the architecture of trade that was established at the WTO, all these are being brought into question. There are new players which have come into play. The Emirates, the powers in the Gulf, medium powers like Israel, and as well as Turkey, Egypt, etc. All these are major players in both development and as well politics of the region. And we cannot move ahead without considering the important role of China, who is today the leading provider of development assistance, the bilateral donor in the world, with terms very different from those which we have played with before, as well as new players, again in the Gulf, but also in Europe and other parts of the world, and not to consider not to forget the BRICS. That is the global framework under which this plan that we are proposing is going to be developed. Your Excellency, Mr. President, you've heard this before from us, that in fact, looking at the statistics of the fastest developing countries in the world, it is possible to fulfill the mission of bringing Kenya forward from where we are into an industrialized modern country within one generation. It's been done before and it can be done. The Industrial Revolution, Mr. President, took 70, 80 years in the United Kingdom, the first country to industrialize. That period has been being compressed over as we move to the present. We must take lessons into our planning and internalize in our country. It took the US a shorter period, 70 years, Germany, France, Japan, 40 years, 30 years for South Korea and China. The period is becoming, and the knowledge is there about the drill that allows you to move that way. Why is it that it has been difficult for us to continue a path of rapid growth and industrialization and rapid change with high income for all our citizens when we have seen examples of this, including phases, as Professor Nyong'o said, in our own country before? We have taken lessons from these countries and from our own neighbors and from our own experience, Mr. President, in the preparation of this document, and we back the evidence from the facts that it is indeed possible to do that. The People's Republic of China is now has gone down in history as the fastest growing country in the history of the world for its number of people. In the period of 82 to 883 to about 5 years ago, making that transition, bringing 700 million people out of poverty into prosperity, transforming its people from being predominantly rural to 65% urban, with decent livelihoods and homes and livelihoods and jobs to go, as well as health and education. Just when we ourselves have been watching these developments take place, there are lessons and important lessons to learn from this country as well as industrialization. Mr. President, Professor Nyong'o has just mentioned again the importance of spatial planning. Our country, looking at projections of growth rates in population, will be 50% plus urban in 2050. Just 25 years from now, Kenyans are coming into urban areas whether we like it or not. And our Constitution gives us the right to live wherever you wish in the Republic. The young people want to come to urban areas, 4% annual growth rate of urban. By 2050, 48%, 50% of our population will be urban. We must plan spatial place in urban areas in a way that will accommodate not just in housing, but also in source of life.